always been curious because I always wanted to dunk when I was in high school. And I used to be able to dunk a volleyball. I'm 5'11". I used to be able to dunk a volleyball when I was a senior in high school. And only one time in my life have I ever dunked a basketball in a game situation, and it was because it was a shot that was rimming out. It was probably offensive goaltending, but it was a tip dunk where I tipped it back in. It kind of looked like a dunk. I call it a dunk. Makes me feel good. But I've always wanted to be able to dunk, and it's never really going to happen unless it's on an 8-foot hoop like we do with the special slam dunk contests out at Northfield Park. But I was on the internet the other day, and I've seen all these different kind of ads for increase your vertical jump, this many inches, increase you can have a 35 to 40 inch vertical jump if you. And I've often wondered, do those things really work? And, what's the secret behind it, or how does someone get involved with that? So I figured I'd send an email out to one of the guys who, has a routine or has a schedule for you to follow and drills for you to do that would, improve your vertical jump. And sure enough, Jacob Hiller responded to me, and so we set up an interview for tonight to discuss with him his program, if you will, about being able to make you jump higher and be able to throw it down in hoops or spike it in volleyball or whatever your sport is. Jacob, how are you today?
Pretty good. How you doing, Kenny?
I'm real good. Thanks for taking the time. And the official title is Performance Enhancement Coach and Certified Personal Trainer. Jacob, how long you been doing this?
10 years. Probably about 10 years.
About 10 years. And why? What got you into this, Jacob, trying to improve your athletic ability and wanting to help others do the same?
Well, I was just like any other kid at the time. I wanted to, like you, I wanted to dunk. I wanted to get faster, quicker, and I wanted to dominate my sport as well as I could. So I just started looking for any ways that I could to get an advantage and hit the regular roadblocks as anyone else did. So.
All right, so when you hit the roadblocks and you weren't getting results, what things did you try and what did you eventually come up with, Jacob?
Well, I tried, the programs like Air Alert or the strength shoes, and, my high school coaches gave me routines to do, and when I was in college, my college coaches gave me routines to do, and I did get results from them, but nothing to write home about, nothing that really got me excited. And it wasn't until, I started reading a lot of research that was done and had my personal training formation and really started thinking about how to apply great amounts of strength in short amounts of time, that I really formulated, what type of training needs to take place in order to become explosive and not simply able to jump at a certain height for a certain amount of times, if that makes sense.
All right, so when you finally figured this out, how long did it take before you got results and you said, I'm on to something here?
Well, when I figured this out, I was actually on a service trip, and so I couldn't do a lot of training, so I was just training some kids who were in the neighborhood, and they started putting on a few inches really quickly, in less than a month. And so I knew that as soon as I got home, I was going to put my time into this, and a year later, I got home, and I put about 3 months in. And in that 3 months, I gained over 10 inches in my vertical.
10 inches?
And, I gained over 10 inches in my vertical. Now, keep in mind that I had been out of training for about 2 years.
Okay.
Some of that was muscle memory that was coming back, and so I had the advantage there. But still, I went far beyond anything I'd ever jumped before, and soon I was doing all my dream dunks. Jumped a foot over the free throw line and dunked. I was getting my head to the rim and doing all sorts of fun stuff. And that's when everything got rolling on training others who did the same thing.
And that's when you come up with the jump manual, and there are testimonials on the website. The website for people out there that want to check it out is what, Jacob?
Jumpmanual.com.
Jumpmanual.com. Real simple, and you can go see what we're talking about here. But the testimony, and so you decided to get other. How'd you get word out? How did people become aware of this and start getting involved in purchasing it and what you're doing and all that, and this becoming something that a lot of people were interested in?
Right. Well, I was just training some local kids, and there was a local buzz that started, and I knew I had to put a book out there because so many people were asking me, how can I get my vertical jump and how can I get quicker and stronger? And after a game, you only have 15 minutes to explain to somebody. So I knew I had to get a book out there. And I published the book as quickly as I could, with the platform. And it was free at the time. I just gave it away free just to see what the reaction was. And testimonials started rolling in. And I knew I had something exciting to give, but I didn't know how to make a website. I didn't know how to do all that stuff. So as soon as we got all that created, testimonials were coming in every week, and they still are coming in. And ever since then, it's just kind of blown up. It's kind of gone out of my hands, and it's really exciting.
Talking with Jacob Hiller, performance enhancement coach, certified personal trainer, about the jump manual, increasing your vertical jump. All right, so Jacob, I'm not going to ask you to increase mine, okay? Because I'm 45. My days of that dream of dunking and that are over. I'll blow out my Achilles or an ankle or a knee or something like that. So I'm dunking donuts now. That's about it. But for kids out there, I mean, can you take the average player or even the above average player, and even if they jump pretty well right now, can your program increase their vertical jump?
Yeah, it definitely can. And you'd be surprised at how many people 40 to 50 years old are still gaining a significant amount on the vertical. And I've got guys 45. I even had a 50-year-old who got back to dunking, and
really?
I have his testimonial on the side. Yeah, you wouldn't believe. What's funny is I get kids who are 23 years old, and they email me and say, "Am I too old to gain on my vertical? I'm 23 or I'm 25," and so it's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, everybody can make increases on the vertical, and as long as your joints are in good condition, injury is the only thing you need to be aware of. But you can make some serious gains.